Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I bring you the story of Hùng and Hoài Ca. In the previous episode, the lives of Hoài Ca and Hùng continued to unfold through days that seemed simple, yet behind that simplicity was a process of constant effort. Mornings began very early. Familiar tasks repeated day after day, from harvesting little by little together, to sitting down and calculating their small business. Everything moved steadily, nothing too outstanding, yet carrying a very clear meaning. Because more than anyone else, both Hoài Ca and Hùng understood, if they wanted a stable future, then every small task today had to be done with certainty. It was not just about work, but also about the plans still unfinished, about the land, about the direction ahead, about a life they were slowly building step by step. All of it was still lying ahead. And then, the unexpected appearance of Hoài Ca's adoptive mother, after such a long time without any contact, made that familiar atmosphere suddenly feel different. Not a drastic change, but a feeling both of them could sense, yet neither spoke aloud. A meeting that did not last long, without complicated conversations, yet enough to bring many thoughts into each of their hearts. Thoughts about family, about relationships that seemed distant, yet had never truly disappeared, about life, not only what was happening in front of them, but also what once was, and what might still come. Things unspoken, yet quietly existing. Continuing the story. After that day, everything did not end as just a passing encounter. Hoài Ca's adoptive mother did not leave immediately like before. No longer just an unexpected appearance, followed by a quick disappearance. But this time, she returned. Not by coincidence, not because of a fleeting emotion, but after much thought. A return, carrying consideration, carrying things that had already been weighed in her heart. That morning, everything still began like any other day. Soft sunlight spread across the land. The air remained quiet, familiar. And Hoài Ca and Hùng continued their work, just as they had done all along. No need to say too much. Each of them understood what they needed to do. Hoài Ca started with cleaning the barn, step by step, carefully, not missing a single detail. Tasks that seemed small, yet were the foundation for maintaining stability. She did not rush, but every movement was steady, just as she had always done. On the other side, Hùng prepared the feed, meticulous from selection to arrangement. Everything done with clear focus. No haste, but no delay either. Because to him, every task of the day had its own meaning. And right in those seemingly familiar moments, the appearance of Hoài Ca's adoptive mother, once again, quietly stepped into that space, without making noise, without interrupting the ongoing work, yet enough to make the familiar rhythm. Pause for just a moment, a brief glance, a moment of recognition that this presence was no longer coincidence, no longer just a passing visit, but something that was beginning to change. Right within the most ordinary of days, the familiar voice once again echoed at the door. Hoài Ca. The sound, not loud, not rushed, yet enough for those inside to recognize immediately. Hoài Ca gently paused. A brief stillness, as if confirming that familiar feeling that had just crossed her mind. Then she turned. This time, there was no longer the same surprise as before. No longer that overwhelming shock that made her freeze. But there was still something. A slight shift. A quiet trace of surprise that could not be completely hidden. Mom, the way she called, remained the same. Unchanged. Yet carried a deeper, heavier emotion than before. Her mother stepped in. Not fast, not slow. Each step light, yet clear. Her eyes quietly scanned the house. One slow glance, from familiar corners to the smallest details, then paused toward the outside, where the garden still had unfinished parts, and farther beyond, the land that was still incomplete. No need to ask, no need to hear explanations. Just by looking, she could already feel part of their current life. The work that continued day after day, with no clear stopping point. Plans still in the middle, not yet completed, and the difficulties, unspoken, yet clearly present. In every small detail, she sat down, gently, without creating any sense of urgency, then began to ask, not casual questions, not superficial concern, but very specific things, closely tied to what they were facing. How has work been lately? A short question, but filled with care. Are you managing okay? Not asked for formality, but to truly know. Hoai Ca paused slightly, not because she didn't want to answer, not because she didn't have one, but because she didn't know how to say it in a way that was right, enough, without making the other person worry more. A brief silence, yet enough to reveal the hesitation in her eyes. Then she smiled softly, a familiar smile, but not entirely carefree. Overall, it's still okay, Mom. We're still trying. A simple answer, yet carrying so much behind it. Hung stood beside her, silent the entire time. He didn't interrupt, didn't add, didn't deny, just stood there, quietly, as a way of agreeing with what Hoai Ca had said, because he understood. There are things that don't need to be spoken, to be seen. Her mother looked at them for a long moment. No quick reaction, no interruption, just watching, as if trying to understand everything behind those short words. Then she let out a soft sigh, very light, not out of disappointment, not out of blame, but out of love, a very clear kind of care, not needing many words, yet deeply felt. She slowly opened the bag she brought. No rush, as if it had already been prepared. Took out a stack of money, neatly arranged, and placed it on the table. She didn't speak immediately, but that action already said enough. This, I brought for you too. Her voice was gentle, yet made the atmosphere pause. Hoai Ca froze. Her eyes moved to the money, then back to her mother, as if she hadn't fully reacted yet. Hung also couldn't hide his surprise. He stepped forward slightly, as if to say something. No, Mom, this. But before he could finish, she gently stopped him, not with force, but with calm firmness. I know you two need it. Not a question, not doubt, but certainty. It's not a gift, it's a loan. A way of saying it that eased the hesitation. When you can return it. No pressure, no conditions. I don't need it right now. A simple sentence, yet full of understanding. The atmosphere in the house softened. Not tension, not awkwardness, but emotion. A natural feeling, spreading quietly. Hoai Ca gently shook her head. I can't take it, Mom. Not refusal, but hesitation. Hung added, we can still manage. It's not to the point we need to use your money. A statement, carrying dignity, a desire to carry their own burden. But she did not change. Her gaze remained firm, unshaken, undecided. Managing doesn't mean it isn't hard. A direct sentence, yet not heavy. If I don't help, who will? No need for more words. That question was enough to hold everything in place. Not loud, not harsh, yet touching exactly what they could not deny, because they understood. This was not just money, but care, affection, standing by them in the moment they needed it most. She gently pushed the money forward, not forcing, but not taking it back either. Just take it. Her voice remained calm, yet certain. Consider it my part in your future. A sentence. Not just help, but trust. In that moment, Hoai Ca looked at Hùng. Her eyes said nothing, yet carried so many thoughts. Hùng looked back. No words, no discussion, just a slight nod, an agreement, because both understood. Some help, if refused, would not be right. Finally, Hoai Ca reached out and took it. Slowly, but firmly. Not out of weakness, not out of dependence, but because she understood. This was a form of love, not always given. Thank you, Mom. Her voice softened, but clear, without hesitation. Hùng bowed his head slightly. We promise to return it as soon as we can. A promise, not grand, but sincere. Her mother just smiled. No further demands, no reminders, no rush. There were no longer long silences because no one knew what to say. No more glances avoiding one another for fear of touching on difficult things. Instead, everything gradually became more natural, gentler, as if after emotions had been opened, after the unspoken had been understood. What remained was simply sharing. The three of them sat together, no longer separated by an invisible distance. No more hesitation in their conversations, but replaced by a clear sense of closeness, a feeling of familiarity, as if there had never been any interruption in their relationship. They began to talk about plans ahead, not distant things, not overly grand dreams, but very practical matters, very close, very connected to the life they were building each day, about the land that was still unfinished, the parts not yet completed, the empty spaces still waiting to be filled. No longer something that caused worry, but gradually becoming something that could continue. Something that could be done step by step. No need to rush, but also not to stop. They talked about what to plant next. No longer fleeting thoughts, but choices that had been carefully considered, based on what they had experienced, and what they had learned. Throughout their journey so far, they talked about what to raise next, not just to expand, but to become more stable, to gradually bring everything into a stronger rhythm. Each story, each idea, not loud, not rushed, yet carrying a very clear sense of direction. And all of it pointed toward one shared vision, a complete farm. No longer unfinished sketches, no longer plans that existed only in thought, but something that could gradually take shape, more clearly, more steadily, at the pace they were already following. Her adoptive mother listened, without interrupting, without stepping in, just quietly following each story, each plan the two shared. From time to time, she gently added a thought. Not much, not imposing, just small reminders, simple perspectives, yet always at the right moment, as if she did not want to change their direction, but only help them see their path more clearly. There were moments when she said nothing, just remained silent, and smiled, a very gentle smile, yet carrying so much within. Her eyes no longer held the worry from when she first arrived, no longer those quiet concerns, but instead, a very clear sense of reassurance. A reassurance not because everything was perfect, but because she could see the two people she had always considered her children were truly trying, not trying in words, but in every small action, in the way they worked each day, in the way they faced difficulties, in the way they kept going. Even when the road ahead was not easy, the afternoon slowly faded. Sunlight stretched across the garden. The rays no longer harsh, but softer, warmer, as if embracing that small space. The young plants continued to grow each day. No one could clearly see the change in every moment, but with enough patience, one would realize they had never stopped, just like the dreams of Hoai Ca and Hùng. Not explosive, not rushed, not needing to grow instantly, yet always moving forward in their own way, slow but steady. And perhaps, after everything, the most valuable thing in that moment was not the money that had been given, not the things that could be counted, but a feeling, a very simple feeling, yet enough to steady the heart, that in the hardest times, when everything still felt uncertain, there was still someone willing to stand behind them. No need to appear constantly, no need to say much, just being there was enough, trusting and ready to help when needed. The journey ahead may still hold many challenges, unknown things, difficulties yet to come, still waiting. But now, Hoai Ca and Hùng no longer felt they had to carry everything alone. They had gained a support, not something too grand, but enough to make each step steadier. A belief, not from promises, but from presence, from care, from things that were real, close, clear. And from there, plans that were once unfinished, ideas that were once unclear, were no longer just thoughts, but were slowly becoming real steps, little by little, gently, yet irreversible. And if you've stayed with the story until this very moment, perhaps you've already felt, in some way, the journey that Hoai Ca and Hùng are going through. Not something grand, not an easy path, but day by day, step by step, quietly striving, quietly building, to create a better life with their own hands. If this story has made you feel a little warmer, made you believe more in effort, or simply touched some emotion within you, don't hesitate. Leave a like on this video. Share your thoughts in the comments, because every word you share is not only your companionship, but also a source of motivation, so that stories like this can continue to be told. And if you don't want to miss what comes next, the journey's still unfinished, the things yet to be revealed, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, so you'll always be the first to watch the next episodes of this story.
Xin chào mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Hôm nay thì mình tiếp tục đưa đến video về câu chuyện của Hoài Ca và Hùng như mình đã biết trước. Thì như mọi người cũng đã biết là Hoài Ca và Hùng thì đang có dự định là sẽ mở nông trại, và có một người đã mới quay về, đó là mẹ nuôi của Hoài Ca. Xong thì bà ấy về thì cũng biết Hoài Ca và Hùng đang có dự định mở trang trại, và cũng biết cả hai đang còn khó khăn. Nhưng mọi người cũng đã thấy Hoài Ca và Hùng cũng nhiều khó khăn khi cả hai chưa có vốn nhiều, chưa có thế mạnh về kinh tế. Thì sau cái đợt khủng hoảng mà mẹ Hùng gây ra thì Hùng phải dồn hết kinh tế để trả nợ, nên cả hai đang cố gắng rất là nhiều. Và mẹ nuôi đã đưa đến một số tiền tiết kiệm để cho cả hai nuôi. Đây cũng là động lực cũng như là một số tiền để giúp cả hai vượt qua khó khăn. Hãy đón xem những tập sau trên kênh của mình để biết thêm diễn biến câu chuyện nhé. Tạm biệt mọi người.